which you can watch or listen to anytime you please. But he actually thinks, and this is a man after my own heart here, that the only things cooler than David O'Brien and Eric O'Flaherty having their own podcast are, and I quote you from Twitter here, Johnny Cash and the 1979...
on the podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
He was a notable Braves closer in the late '90s, kind of a cult hero. But we talk about all kinds of weird stuff, Marky, from politics to baseball to life to having babies, which I just had one.
Yes, we want to congratulate you, and you did the. You were not Ben Zobrist. You actually kept your commitment to Tri-City Sports Now from the hospital. Unlike, I'm getting a divorce. I've got to leave the Cubs. That shows you the difference in World Series MVPs. I mean, you had Zobrist here, and then we have, Stargell. What is he, the 79 Pirates and all this. Actually, look, I mean, I know we're talking Braves and all this. I'll try to tie this into saying, yes, Stargell was a Braves coach in the 80s and such. But I do want to ask you that just as a layperson right there, I once wrote for the Pirates program, this was 25 years ago, Growth Rock, those guys, Dizzy Dean, the Boys of Summer Brooklyn Dodgers, and then I said the 79 Pirate, we are family. All right. So remember that, okay? I then see on MLB Network, they do a historical perspective on the 79 Pirates. What do you think they led with? That exact line, and then they show the three teams on video, the Gas House Gang, the Boys of Summer, and the family. Josh Brown, who do I sue? I didn't get any recognition for that at all.
Wow. I do know a lawyer. A little bit late for that, but yeah, wow.
I gotta figure that's where they got that. Here, they're only a game and a half out, but the big news, I think, we played Freddie Freeman's home run last night, but the day before we played Austin home. 37 games down at Gwinnett, 299 average with 15 home runs, and then he just picks up where he leaves off in the majors, and he's playing left field. The idea of, wait a minute, Josh Donaldson, he's got third, so where are we going to play Austin Riley? But the question is, I mean, yeah, can Arte left? Do you think that, I don't know, Inciarte is Wally Pipp? I mean, is Riley here to stay?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. He's the real deal. He's fantastic. And listen, there's a reason this past offseason, they were all in their field all offseason. And even, this spring leading up until now, he hasn't made these deals and these trades. Either the best or the second best farm system in baseball. So he gets the job, and he's like, this is amazing. I don't have to do anything. All he needs to do is promote some guys. And so with Austin Riley, the Atlanta Braves just injected like a form without doing anything. Listen, I like Ender Inciarte. I think he's not nearly as bad as Braves Twitter talks about him being. But he's definitely on the hot seat for sure. I don't think he's got a place on the Atlanta Braves in trade value, even though he's had a not great season, never has bad defense, but for some weird reason. But he's still a fantastic ball player. He's got a lot of speed. He's a Gold Glove guy, and he's a 300 hitting batter, in my opinion. Even though he's been through a slump this year so far, but when you have Austin Riley, Madison Bumgarner, that's a hot
Yeah.
take right there, hot subject. Mad Bum listed the Braves as one of the teams in his no trade. If the Giants opt to trade him to a team on that list like the Braves, then Madison Bumgarner can basically have power in those negotiations. Very savvy. Even though it's a no trade list, it's kind of not. He basically listed the Braves as well as other teams that are probably going to make a run for it in that list because he knows, or his agent knows, perhaps, that he'll have more power in those negotiations. A Giant, maybe a Blue Jay. It's weird. And part of me, part of me thinks that, hey, you keep him, though, and you just have a great bench. Because look at the 2018 NLDS, right? The Braves got destroyed by the Dodgers because they had such a fantastic bench. And, when you got a bench of Yasiel Puig and Max Muncy compared to your bench of, maybe they keep him, maybe they keep Ender, and maybe they have a bench of, like, Ender and
Right there. So the strength of the bench. Yeah, I do think Inciarte, and I've got some things to say about him. Let me hold you on. I'll come back. We're talking Braves. Tri-City Sports Now.